Well, let's get into our Disgruntled Gamer Rant.
All right.
Our Disgruntled Gamer Rant today is modern gaming, woke versus anti-woke. And we're going to kind of explain like what we see as woke, and then we're going to talk about like this thing that's happening on social media where you have the anti-woke crowd and the woke crowd going at each other, and then, you know, kind of them being dishonest about things on both sides.
And it seems like it's getting too. It seems like it's getting too picky. You know what I mean? Like nitpicking.
Yeah. All right, Grant. Let's talk about woke versus anti-woke. First off, let's bring up Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. All right, so this has been a weird game. No help from him. But it's been a very weird game before release, right? The talk of it. Like, so people, what they brought up was the relationship, the choice that you can have a gay relationship with one of your best buddies from even the first game, Hans. All right. That being said, it's a choice. And to to have a relationship with Hans, you kind of have to go out of your way to build that relationship and actually get to that scene they're talking about. You have to click the buttons and make the choices for this. And majority of the rest of the game is just you getting with random women. Like you have your main relationship, your companions that you can romance. Then you have side chicks that you can have options with through the game.
Oh, man.
All right. But the choice is there. Okay. I can play the entire game how I want to.
Yeah. Well, and then you see some more people saying, they go deeper into it. You know, they're like, well, I pulled up his profile and he's 15 and now you're promoting pedophilia and castrate. I can't think of and all this other
sodomy
stuff.
With the
underage.
Yeah.
Sodomy. That's what I'm looking for. But like, bruh, okay. Now you're getting too nitpicky into all this. Like
we reported that as, hey, this is what people are talking about last podcast, that the Henry or Hans is underage during this time period.
Yeah.
Not in the game. If you go to history, I guess you could, he doesn't even have a date of birth. Henry doesn't. Like you can't find his exact date of birth, but they're going by this, I guess, 14 or 13 something date. And then the current date of the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Of what century or what the year it is, and they're trying to make it look like, you know, Hans and Henry are both 15. They're grown dudes in their like 30s right now, or maybe late 20s. I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, here's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, if you want to be historically correct, now I'm not saying one way or the other, you know, but people were getting married at 13 back then, like in the
girls,
the Middle
like
Ages
when they're 12.
Like, yeah, and they were getting married to like older dudes, like princes, and things like that. I don't agree with that. But it was happening. Yeah. That's just what it was then, you know? I don't know, man. I just feel like people are just trying to that's where I'm talking about the nitpicky
If we want to get nitpicky about history, okay, there's
a lot of fucked up shit in history.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of the
so
stuff
much
that happened
bad
back
stuff
then
in history
is not going to be accepted nowadays. But the game itself it's not about you being a 15-year-old boy hooking up with another 15-year-old boy, or Hans being an underage kid. He's not in the game. He's like around your age best friend. And like I said before, you have to go out of your way to do this crap with him. Like to be in the gay romance, you have to do a lot of different choice dialogues to access that.
I mean, would a lot of people say anything if like he was a 15-year-old boy and he was hooking up with like a 20-something-year-old woman?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like
it doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't exist in the game.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But anyway, so let's talk about this. So this is what happened in social media. This game is not woke. But for some reason, the woke crowd and social media they hold this game now.
Yeah.
It's their game.
Yeah.
To all the bullshit posted by the anti-woke side.
Correct. I agree.
They own it now, and they can call it them. They pretty much saying, "Oh, this is our game" because of a choice dialogue gay scene. They're calling it woke because of that, which is not woke.
Same thing they did with Baldur's Gate 3.
They're calling it theirs with just like Baldur's Gate 3. They're holding on to it. Yep. And then it doesn't help Daniel Vavra, going on his little social media tirades. But he's calling out
people were feeding into it.
He's calling out all those way crazy anti-woke people that are posting stuff not true about the game because they're not playing it.
Yeah.
But he's technically right on coming after in some of that. You know what I mean? Like, I hate to say it, even though like his little rants about review scores and stupid shit like that.
That's dumb. Yeah.
He's dumb for that. But I mean, overall, from what I played with the game, dude, like it's totally opposite from woke. Yeah. Like you do. I mean, I'm surprised the woke side isn't saying, "Oh, it's misogynistic."
Yeah,
and that's
there's
pretty
probably
much what
other
you can
things
do in the game. That's pretty much what Henry can be in the game. And a lot
going
of
up,
the
going up
choices
there,
and dialogue
slapping on
with women
asses,
is what that is.
slapping on asses and stuff.
Yeah, if they always call people misogynistic, but they look at this game as a woke game. But like, if they really were truthful about themselves and really serious about misogynistic stuff, they would call out this game because that's what it is. But I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. So again, we'll give our definition of woke versus anti-woke, just for people who haven't known. A woke game is a game where you're being force-fed ideologies and stuff like that.
No choice.
Like if they make a trans character and they have to give you a speech on the trans character and things like that. Now, me and you, we have no problem with trans characters in games, gay characters in games, lesbians, so on and so forth, whatever. It's the fact that whenever it's like, hey, I'm a trans character, and then you start revolving the story around that character being trans, like, okay, I don't want that in my game. I want to, you had to get the pronoun speech and the non-binary speech and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
like, we don't give a shit.
When you first meet her.
What I'm saying is none of that has anything to do with the story. Zero. Like, here's the thing is, like, if your character is just like a gay character who's like, you know, he kisses a dude, no big deal. But if he's like, hey, my name is Paul. Or my name is Paul and I'm gay. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point of that? What does that have to do with the story?
My pronouns are he.
Yeah. What does that have to do with the story? It doesn't advance the story whatsoever.
But yeah. So like the tragedy is that the anti-woke side, some people, not everyone, went hard on this game, calling it woke and making up stuff that's not true about the game.
Yeah.
And they've allowed the woke side to call it their own.
Yeah.
And defend it and everything else. And IGN going on those stupid gay rant tweets about them and Hans. That's like,
I always respond to them because I know it's going to get good engagement.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not even, like I said, you got to go out of your way to do that. Like, and it's not even the main focus romance in the game. But, you know, IGN, of course, is going to tweet it because it gets engagement themselves. But
I think
like,
some people,
the focus is on these two other women more than it is ever on Hans. Hans is constantly like your best friend, like your brother in arms, until you decide drastically in many different discussions to do that way.
I think there's extremes on both sides. I always feel like me and you are closer to the middle and everything. Or
we're not even in the middle, dude. We're just on the side of common sense.
Yeah, basically. But what I'm saying is like...
But common sense is anti-woke.
Yeah, correct.
If you think about it.
No, yeah. I just think there's just extremes on both sides. And they're the ones that are fighting the battle. You know what I mean? Like, there's the ones that are going too far with it.
But I mean, there's a travesty they allowed them to grab this game. You know, pushing all that bullshit.
Also, I'll say this: you can't. I think some people see, if they even think that it's an inkling of something, they want the game to automatically fail. So they're like picking up their sword and shield and going on the crusade for it. You know what I mean? And you can't be like that. You can't be like that until, one, you have more information, and two, you play the game. Gotta play the game.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's great to fight against that, you know, those woke developers trying to push their ideology and force feed in your face. Yeah. It's a good fight to fight, but be honest and truthful about it.
And some people, like I said, some people are doing it just because they want it to fail. They want it to fail.
When you don't, things like their side grabbing a game that is completely I mean, honestly, it is. Besides your choices, it's not woke at all.
And guess what?
And you allow them to embrace it and call it, the next Baldur's Gate 3.
Yep. And guess what they're going to do? Anytime that you have an argument, they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, well you called this game. Well, that game's not woke. Oh yeah, well let me show you
Baldur's Gate 3 and 𝐾CD2.
Let me show you your post where you said it."
Yeah, and it's just amazing that like
you gave them the ammo.
Yeah. 𝐾CD2 is raw. Like if you're a dude, alpha male, you're going to love this game. Trust me.
How many fights you get in all the time? But you fight everybody.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, Henry's just
my
Henry's a straight outlaw.
Let me ask you a question. So a lot of people are, they're playing it and they're getting so consumed with all the side stuff that they haven't even really gotten to like the main stuff.
Dude, nowhere. I'm doing all this crap in the woods, hunting, and I'm messing with the bar window.
Like you don't even know if you're doing the main story quest or not.
I don't know, but that's why it's so fun right now. Because you can do it's I mean I don't know, but it's so far it's like it's a fun game. And
so basically you just been hunting and fucking.
I know you sons of bitches. This is not your game. It's not a woke game. You can't claim this. No. Sorry, because I am saying it right now. You cannot claim it.
No.